Let's get all sorted. I'm James.
And I'm Jeff. In this episode, we're taking 10% of all income earned through the length of the contract.
Jeff, what are you talking about?
You said we're talking Lego agents.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, James.
And hello to all of our patrons over on Podbean. Thank you very much for your ongoing support here.
We really appreciate all the support. If you'd like to help us out in other ways, definitely give us a review on iTunes. It helps other people find us.
And what are we talking about this week, Jeff?
Today we are talking about Lego agents. Agents is a beautiful theme. Should I just go right into it?
I think we should. I think I was about to say, what kind of agents, Jeff? But it is just agents.
Yes, not the agents I was talking about in our hilarious intro, which we definitely wrote well in advance and not right before we recorded.
There's a lot of, we have a Google Doc. It went back and forth for weeks.
We workshopped it for sure.
Yeah, took it out, did some public performances, little busking. People gave input. We integrated that.
It's important. You got to tour it first. You don't want to go right
and we didn't go local either.
No.
You got to go to places you don't.
But I feel like this would play in Peoria, and that's important.
That's your core.
For any of our intros.
So we're talking about agents. Now, agents is a weird, sprawling, big theme. Like it's not even one theme. It seems like it covers multiple themes, and it's like they didn't quite know what to ever do with it exactly. I don't know. It's just here, there, influences from all over the place, and then it's kind of goes away and comes back and still going. So where do we want to start with this thing?
I think it's your typical, really, I think it's not as complicated as that. It's your typical secret agents with a lot of money behind them, not necessarily governmental, maybe private business money, versus themed supervillains that are bent on either destroying the world and or taking over a particular city.
Now, who's funding the supervillains?
Dr. Inferno is, in fact, funding all of his...
Now, where did he get his money from?
Private enterprise.
Private enterprise.
He's not a businessman. He is a businessman. Jay-Z stole that from him.
Dr. Inferno.
Yeah. It was Dr. Inferno, and Jay-Z got mad that Dr. Inferno funded Dr. Dre, but they were both doctors.
Wow, it's complicated.
And then Jay-Z was like, I know how I'll get back to him. I'll steal his catchphrase as my line.
Dr. Inferno, I don't know if that's entirely the backstory, Jeff.
It might be. Now, I think this is a good point for full disclosure.
Yeah.
There is some great world building Lego did with all of the agents' lines, and James and I decided to read none of that.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing this theme for a long time, and we were like, we should definitely read all the back material and all. We did not. I think we both just looked and went, that's so daunting. And neither of us, I was not into this theme at the time.
No, I think that this theme, it definitely all existed within my Dark Ages.
Yeah.
The very last Ultra Agents theme, which we'll get to, happened right at the tail end of my Dark Ages. There were still sets in stores, and I did not buy them.
You were just like, this is too much backstory for me to get into.
I felt like it was like coming into a show in the third season. You know, maybe it's great. It was just too much for me.
Yeah.
Or possibly it wasn't superheroes.
Right. That's a good point. It's very close, but not quite.
It is. It's as close as they can get. And it's also a weird theme in that it's modern conflict.
Right.
Much like the superhero line. So once again, you will find Lego does not make weapons.
No.
Except they do make some very tank adjacent things and very combat helicopter adjacent.
Well, I think they're about weapons of large scale destruction, not like isolated incidents. So we got to be clear on that.
Yeah.
Because with a jet, you're not, it's not hand to hand combat.
That's an interesting point. But I think they've succeeded in making it cartoony enough that it exists outside of reality.
It seems so. It's a theme that doesn't take itself seriously. It's very spoof based. Like a lot of it is like a play off of James Bond in a very ridiculous way.
I would agree. And I think the first clue you're dealing with the heightened reality is the names of the agents themselves. Now, I don't know if these are their given names. If so, they have a very specific recruiting policy.
They had parents with foresight.
And it is you have to have a verb last name, right?
Right.
So the agents involved here, we have Agent Chase, and Agent Charge, and Agent Fuse. Is Fuse, that's actually a noun, isn't it?
No. Oh, yeah, because
you like
have
a
short
fuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a short fuse. There's always a determiner there. And that
fuse. Well, he could be fusing things, but I don't know what he's fusing.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's the agent that brings everybody together.
Agent Fuse. Maybe that's what we should call a person in an office situation that is like the They would call them the glue or something like that. They should just call them the fuse.
Yeah.
And
I think every sports team needs a fuse guy.
kind of, it sounds like a person with a bad temper.
It does. And maybe Agent Fuse does have it. I mean, he's ginger, and I don't know if that's...
Do we both have terrible temper? We're not really.
I'm only half ginger.
Yeah.
I'm beard ginger. Is that...
Beard ginger.
Is that a thing?
I think that qualifies.
Agent Fuse, shout outs. There's Agent Trace, Agent Swipe, and Agent Swift.
Their parents were like very. They only hire people from specific families. The Fuse family, the Chase family, the Swift family.
Maybe it's like this one
It's
of
their
these
surnames.
It could be one of these organizations that's been around forever, and so they are born into it. Again, we read none of the backstory.
No, exactly.
So-
I think we could probably rewrite the backstory. What is a backstory?
Well, I think we should do that right here.
It's a thing
with
that's
what
going to be
we're doing.
revised eventually anyway. We're revisionists.
That's true. We're going to retcon it now. It's
Yeah.
been long enough. So in our version of Agents, they are all part of these 6 families
Okay.
that have been protecting the world from evil for generations.
Right.
And they are all given the first name Agent. This is not their title,
Yes.
their job. It is their actual
Yeah.
first name. And
Yeah.
so you know at birth
Exactly.
that you are Agent Charge. And when Agent Charge retires, you automatically fill in
There's a pair of shoes. You
Yeah.
put them on.
and actual uniform. So they have to be very regimented in their workout routine.
Now, how does that work for the bad guys? Is it the same thing? Like, if your name happens to be you're Bill Tooth, and you have a child, you name that child Gold Tooth. Is that just you're gonna have a kid that's some kind of villain or henchman?
I think that's your only choice.
I think so.
Right. Well, let's go through the villains because they are phenomenal.
Yeah.
There is Dr. Inferno,
Uh-huh.
and he's got a robotic arm and hair that's not subtle.
No.
Like, I think if I was a villain, I would want camouflage outfits, maybe more than, say, bright orange and black sticky uppy hair.
like the Joker, it's villains seem to be part like impresario, part
can see that.
entertainer. They're like they view their role less as about a discrete criminal activity. They're not like, hey, I'm gonna launder some money. They're like, hey, my life is a carnival of destruction.
Right.
Get on in here.
Dr. Inferno, I don't think carnival, maybe more blazing fire of destruction.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that. Also, very nice for Dr. Inferno, he created a logo for his organization.
It's important.
Much like Cobra in the G.I. Joe universe. It's, hey, we are a clandestine terrorist organization.
That also has a marketing firm working for us.
Branding is very important to us.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like a crown, it's looking like to me. I'm going to say a crown because he wants to rule things on his logo. Anyway, Dr. Inferno, and working with Dr. Inferno, we have Break Jaw,
Yeah.
which has a metal mouth, which I guess doesn't work all the time because it breaks.
That poor guy.
We have Claudette, who has, I think, the exact same robotic arm as Dr. Inferno, so I'm assuming they're in a relationship.
Well, he's inspired.
Oh, so maybe she's like...
Or she, yes.
She's going to come after him, right? She wants to be him.
Or there's a genetic based, thing. Like they have a claw thing in their family.
You know what? They were in the same claw club as a kid.
Same claw club.
Yeah,
There we go.
they would do the claw salute, which is where you lift your claw up.
That's distressing. I don't know. I'm not going to search further on that. Who else do we have?
With Dollar Bill, rather dapperly dressed and some sort of monocle. Very important when you're the rich guy.
I think so. When you're a villain, you got to show that you. But again, I feel like this is sort of some Instagram fronting right here. Does he really have all that money?
I would say he's put the least effort into his being. There's no surgery involved here, right? Everyone else has had robotic parts. He's got a monocle and he dyed his hair green.
That seems like a pretty minimal commitment, actually.
I think he's just a wannabe villain. He's not really. You're right. No commitment at all. We have not like our next villain, Firearm.
Yeah, that seems like
Guess what Firearm's got?
an arm that's on fire or a flamethrower.
Oh, you would think no. It's a firearm, like a gun. Get
Oh.
it? Get it?
But
Firearm.
wow. I was thinking about the Robo Attack set with the firearm, but that's something else.
That's true. Gold Tooth, we talked about before. Last name Tooth, first name Gold, happens to have a gold tooth, also gold hair. How do you get gold hair? I saw that once in Game of Thrones. It didn't end well.
Maybe it was Dr. Disaster that gave it to him. He's a cosmetic villain, cosmetic surgeon.
Dr. Disaster is definitely the most evil looking.
And not somebody I want to employ as my family physician.
Kind of a slimy. I wonder. So there's Dr. Disaster, who is green, and it looks like it's sloping down. It's like slime coming off. And there's also Slime Face, who has a fishbowl.
Did he Slime Face a botch job?
Well, maybe Dr. Disaster is the father of Slime Face.
Aw.
Maybe that's full name is Slime Face Zaster.
That's right. So maybe Claudette and Dr. Inferno are related. They're either in a relationship, or maybe that's like his sister, and their parents have a claw condition. And then Slimeface is the child of Dr. Disaster.
It's a very interesting theory.
No, I just like to say, Jeff, I don't know why Lego has not hired us yet to do some of their backstory planning.
We are available.
Lego goes out of business mysteriously.
We're selling theme of all time. Because I don't know if we could come up with something as good as Sawfist. Guess what Sawfist's gimmick is?
He can see people's hands coming far in advance because he saw a fist coming.
That would be good. No, he has a chainsaw as a hand.
See, I'm not into these literal.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Too literal.
I think the best name of the whole group is Spyclops.
Spyclops.
Which is weird because it's
Bit on the nose.
It's a villain.
Yeah,
Are villains spies technically spies? And also, if you have
yes, they are.
If you have 4 robotic legs, like a spider,
when they say about yeah, exactly.
How are you spying at that point?
Click, 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 click. It sounds like Spyclops is coming.
Beyond that, like I want you to infiltrate the base, dress up as one of the soldiers, and just infiltrate the base.
If they have a soldier that is also spider based,
that's sort of a very limited market there, very niche spy.
Yeah, but yeah. I think spies can be good or bad because you can have. They always talk about like Russian spies, or you know what I mean, like in the Cold War.
And then there's double agents, and then there's triple agents, which I think that's just somebody who's
confused,
can't commit.
Yeah, I think so.
You never hear about a married triple agent. Spyclops. I like the name.
So
we're not done because we've got Dynamite.
Oh right. Yes.
Dynamite is another one who didn't commit very well. It's just a jumpsuit and a red wig and sunglasses.
He's like he's trying to be a stick of dynamite.
She.
Sorry.
Come on.
I can't keep any of them straight. You know what? I was reading somewhere. Neither could the people that did the marketing materials for these, is they had the male heads on some of the female bodies at one point.
Yes, in one of the catalogs.
See, it's not just me, Jeff.
No, it's a lot to keep track of.
I think Lego is having trouble.
Obviously, some people didn't get the right memos.
Yeah.
About torsos.
No.
Or maybe this was an early act of corporate sabotage where they were trying to have more diversity in the cast. They're like, we're going to create some female characters by changing these torsos out.
Yeah, and that didn't work.
No. You know who does work?
Who?
Magma Commander.
Magma Commander.
Sort of a full-on robot.
Yeah.
Magma Commander. And then has the Magma drones.
That's pretty sweet.
Which I do like that the Magma drones are just a body with an antenna instead of a head. Like, let's be real, drone. We don't need to talk to you. We don't need you looking at things.
Yeah.
We just need to control you by modulated radio frequency.
Do your droney business.
Your droney business. And then they got some henchmen that are named henchmen.
That seems like, you know what? If you're going to have a henchman, they should be generically. I wonder if they're numbered.
I don't know. All I know is I think that's a little lazy.
Well, it'd be confusing. If you're in the middle of a heist or some kind of thing and you're like, henchmen, and they all go, what?
Yeah.
And you're like, no. You keep, oh man, they always, I got to number them.
You got to number them Venture Brothers style.
Yeah.
Or you got to go minions and just,
saying, like,
they all have names.
Yeah.
Phil, get over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not like henchman 12, and they all turn when they hear the word henchman, and then it's like mid-fight, and then you're like 12, and then like 11 is going, oh, that wasn't me. Gee, I'm going to get punched in the head now.
Yeah, because they all looked away.
Yeah, bad planning.
But maybe it's good that the villains have bad planning.
I think we're lucky for that.
So that's our cast of characters.
Did you mention Breakjaw?
I mentioned Breakjaw, yes.
Okay. There's a lot of like physical deformities.
Yeah, it's
Slime
it
face,
is saying...
Breakjaw. But then that was what the old trope was with Bond.
It's true.
So I guess they're sticking with that.
Yeah, you have to blame Bond for a lot of the...
It's like you can't be a villain if you don't have a deformity of some kind.
Or just a weird thing.
A weird thing.
Like a razor hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a soft fist.
Sophist.
Like, what? Imagine if you took this theme and you actually made a film, now take it the other way now and make a film based on this, it would be insane.
It would be frantic.
It would be really, really crazy. I might watch that.
I think people would go, too many villains. They really should have concentrated. Like,
That's true.
People get mad in a Batman movie when there's 3 villains, When you're up to like 9.
The film corrects me like the remaining villains were underdeveloped as characters. I felt they had important backstories that did not come to light.
We never got into Dynamite's motivation.
Yeah, why was he blown? What's
Why
going
did
on?
she choose that wig?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is her real name Dinah?
Maybe? I don't know.
My name is Dynasty Might.
Dynasty might.
They call me Dynamite.
Oh.
All we know is these villains
Yeah.
were being chased by the agents, sometimes Agent Chase.
That's so confusing.
Agent Chase gives chase. The headline writes itself.
It does. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go through, I guess let's begin at the beginning. Now that we've outlined the cast of characters, ignored the plot entirely, we should...
Let's see if we can figure out the plot from the sets themselves.
Sure. So
Sure.
what do we start out with, set-wise?
They laid them out in missions, this first one, did they not?
They did, but it was a bit, yeah, that's right, because doesn't line up with the set numbers.
No, it lines up in the prices more. So mission 1, I believe, was Jetpack Pursuit.
Yeah.
Right. And Jetpack Pursuit is, you'll never guess what they're doing in it.
They're in the shopping district. They're in Tokyo, and they're looking for the best priced jetpacks that they could possibly find. So they're in pursuit of a deal. So I feel...
I actually agree with you. They did get a deal on a jetpack, and the reason they got the deal on the jetpack is if you look at the jetpack, there are no jets. It has helicopter blades.
It's a copter.
So not a jet. It's a prop. It's a prop pack.
They bought a knockoff jetpack, and then they got home and realized, oh, this isn't jet powered, it's prop powered. Why did they lie to us? The packaging says, and then very upsetting.
The more upsetting is that it was actually built out of a decommissioned Inspector Gadget.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Go Gadget copter, and then they cut his head off. They installed the head into the back of the pack, and that's how it was built.
Oh, poor Inspector Gadget.
On the upside, Claw never got him any of the times, no matter what he said. But yeah, we have an agent chasing Sophist, who I'm just realizing Sophist is driving a snowmobile or a ski machine or a sled, depending on your
I don't know.
regional variation.
Yeah, right.
But aren't those the controls in the handlebars, and one is the throttle and one is the brake, and yet he's got a
Saw arm.
fist.
He
That's
probably,
weird.
well, again, he had this ride's been adapted to his specific needs. So he's probably just a left. He pulls it towards him for throttle and then puts it forward for brake. Or maybe it's like that braking that happens when you let go of the throttle.
Could be, or maybe it's a pedal system here.
Yeah, it could be. We
help
can't really
him
see what his feet are doing.
Yeah. You're right, it is heavily modified. It would be annoying if they heavily modified it and they were like, you get on it. He's like, I can't drive. Like, for sure, all of the
drive
cars.
stick, and he holds up his big saw arm, and everyone feels really bad because they're
It would
like,
get
"Oh
awkward.
my god, we didn't think of that." Like, Dr. Inferno, we totally didn't think about that. There's a lawsuit now.
Sophist is going to HR.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No.
But it is, apparently, they're on a mountainside and he stole a jewel and put it on the back of his snowmobile.
As you do.
And
in
then
a
took
big
off down the
case
mountain.
to make sure it's protected like in a museum.
Yeah, and they said, Agent Chase, get your jetpack. And he's like, no, I'm going to get my prop pack.
I called it jetpack, but it's a copter. But it's got little jet wings, so I guess it's kind of jetty.
And then they show that he's shooting right on the cover.
Yeah, those aren't guns.
Those are definitely guns.
Those are lighters, and he's telling people like, cigarette smoking is, I don't know what he's doing.
If it was Agent Fuse, then I would think he was
This
doing
is
some welding.
true.
But it's
Yeah.
not. It's Chase.
Maybe he got in Agent Fuse's jet thing and realized, hey, this isn't... Oh, my main question I had with this set is, when did they introduce... when's the first time you get sunglasses as a printed thing on the minifigures?
That's a good question.
I wonder when that happened.
It had to be before this.
I would think. If someone knows, let us know.
I mean, we're talking, this is 2008, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was... But I don't know. Like what? I'm trying to think of another set that had sunglasses. I hadn't thought this out before, so I don't know. Now I'm going to think. No, I don't know.
No,
But yeah,
that is a question.
somebody knows.
Yes,
We've
let
talked
us
about
know.
noses. Let us know about sunglasses. Glasses, sunglasses. I'm curious about all the accessories there.
We have to assume they were successful in recapturing that jewel, which I'm sure was going to be used for a thing.
It's probably going on display.
Right.
Probably reclaiming some kind of cultural heritage.
So that was after they did the mountain and they chased him.
Now where are they going to go?
They're going to go raid a swamp.
That makes sense.
8632 Swamp Raid. This is mission 2.
You've gone high, now you go low.
That's right.
To the swamp.
So was he going to take the jewel to the swamp? Anyway, all I know is in this one, Agent Charge is charging in on Breakjaw,
And Breakjaw's got himself a phalanx of motorized gators.
which are pretty awesome.
They are pretty awesome.
and a jet ski.
I know what the gators are more impressive, which is why they put the jet ski in the back. If you look at the image for this set, I think they're just like, yeah, the jet ski's not as impressive as we'd hoped. Let's just tuck that away and maybe no one will notice.
Just have our science gators take care of them.
And there's no way those are missiles on that bike.
Yeah, yeah. I do have to question, is Breakjaw really in any danger here? Because Agent Charge has a motorcycle he's jumping up towards a tower, and
It seems to be missing.
like, okay, so let's say if he hits Breakjaw out of the tower,
Yeah.
he's also going into the swamp, which is where
They're both going in.
Radio, yes, but one of them is in charge of the radio alligators. The
Yeah.
other one is not. Radio crocs, alligators.
Whatever
crocs?
they are.
Crocs, they're saying.
Oh, and also one of them has a map. Maybe he's got the map of where the jewels are. Also, he's also blasting, and you know what? He's making contact with the tower, so it's not a welding tool.
Yeah, no, I would
You
say
know, this might actually be a sidearm, Jeff.
he is. It's the hose nozzle sidearm.
There's no way. It's impossible.
He is. Maybe he's trying to deactivate because he's not shooting the bad guy,
Right.
which I don't think that's in the manual, the police manual.
So he's hitting the loudspeaker on the top.
that must be how he controls the radio crocs.
That's all we can assume.
Yeah, I think we can also assume he's successful. He manages to land his jump somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe they're using Tom Cruise Mission Impossible motorcycle physics because
That makes sense.
there's some amazing motorcycle physics that Tom Cruise gets to run because he's Tom Cruise. He's allowed to do that. So I think he got him.
Okay.
Success.
Success.
We're on a mission 3.
Check.
Gold Hunt. Oh, I wonder who the villain's going to be for Gold Hunt.
It won't be somebody with gold in their name, I think.
Nope.
It'll be Emerald Face.
Emerald Face. That'd be awesome if they rebooted it and had like an emerald
Just
face,
incorrect.
and, like a silver leg.
Ruby Tooth.
Good times. No, in this one we have Agent Fuse chasing. Guess what? Goldtooth and a henchman.
Now, I feel like one of them's driving, an 8-wheeled motorized thing. Or so, what is it? I don't even know what that is. It's a gold falling off the back. That's what we're being told.
It's a truck, but it's like a truck that's just the cab of a truck with a trailer.
With a trailer that was some precariously placed gold. I mean, it's like they don't even care about the gold.
This is one where why did you build this special vehicle that's less effective than if you just had a pickup truck? And could have strapped down the gold in the back.
Exactly. You got a henchman. What is he there for if he's not there for strapping down goods and then firing weapons at a jet plane that comes blasting by, presumably at close to Mach? I don't know. I feel like this isn't going to end well.
Also, it's kind of an aggressively named one because he's hunting Mr. Gold here, Goldtooth.
Yeah.
It's Gold Hunt, right? Like that seems.
He's hunting down gold. Gold's gonna get it this time. Yeah, it's a.
This is my least favorite truck I've ever seen. By the way, just the more I look at it, the more I don't like it.
It's very ugly. It's like got that giant double. They went for like a really aggressive looking grill, but it just kind of looks absurd.
I'm okay with the grill. It's the wheels let me
roof.
down.
Oh, it's a little too obvious. They didn't do. There's no hiding. It's got a real 4x4 appearance.
You can see the exposed Technic pieces. You can see there's no suspension.
Right.
So I'm having a hard time suspending my disbelief.
Right. You're just seeing a rigid thing that's going to have a hard time actually traversing that dangerous terrain.
And it's also it's why would you build a truck that's just the cab? The short wheelbase is gonna flip over as soon as it goes on a hill.
It looks, especially with it jacked up. Yeah, it makes no sense.
But then again, villains are not known for their choices.
Maybe that's it. It's just they've made a poor choice.
And I think if your
they're gonna
name
live
is
with it.
Goldtooth and you've got a gold tooth and you've got an eye patch and you've got a gold-plated hair, you're really saying you're more about aesthetic than you are about function.
This is true.
He probably doesn't need the eye patch. He just wears it to look cool.
So after they presumably rescue the gold, where does the adventure go for us next?
That's a very good question. Next up, we have the speedboat rescue. This time we're rescuing. That's nice. And they're going to do it with a speedboat, or they're rescuing a speedboat. They're using the speedboat as the rescue vehicle.
Yeah.
That seems inefficient. I'm not going to lie.
They've grappled onto some oil rig thing or a buoy or something, and they're going to do a rescue here.
Wait a second. Why is Agent Trace the female member, the one that has to be rescued?
Because of tropes.
Lego. This is 2008.
Yeah. Do you remember a public consciousness didn't happen apparently until last year, Jeff?
You're right.
Humankind was in a state of we can't. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Yeah, 2008. Like what?
It does seem weird, like just seeing it. It's very jarring on the cover here.
Yeah, but again, I guess if they're playing off old Bond stereotypes, you're going to be playing off the worst stereotypes.
I suppose that's true. Does the cover here show, does the image here show Agent Chase actually shooting Breakjaw here? Or is that it's in the water?
I think he is missing. So if he had his way, he would be melting someone's face. Yeah, it might be he's trying to shoot the controller, and then the controller will lower her down, and then he can get her.
Also, you have robot sharks. Awesome.
Yeah.
You put missiles on the robot sharks. Super awesome. You got a couple of agents.
That's what. Oh, he's trying to stop the controller from the robot shark shooting.
But shouldn't he have also already shot the missiles at the speedboat and made this whole scenario moot?
Yeah, they're ineffective. They're not doing their job. He was like, "You had one job. It was to patrol. You're failing." And why is he controlling the missiles? It should just be like autonomous.
And how many jet skis does Breakjaw own?
Well, if he blows through one every mission, it's probably a lot. I'm going to assume he's just ripping through those things. Their budget is essentially unlimited.
For sure. And also, Agent Chase, you've got a giant, like, chain gun looking thing on the side of your speedboat. And yet, you get out of the boat to shoot with your little handgun?
Well, he's got to get his tiny pulley to precariously hoist himself up to save the other agent.
He's trying to look good on the poster.
I think he's trying to impress her.
Maybe there's a little love story there.
He's like, if I'm going to save somebody, it's going to be with a little panache. It's going to be unnecessarily absurd and totally unnecessarily dangerous. I could have done this from a distance, but why would I do that?
Why would you do that? I think, though, he's successful.
I suspect he might be.
And I think that's the last we're going to see of Breakjaw. He's going to be sent to prison, be rehabilitated.
Become a dentist.
Yep, he's gonna start with his GED.
Yeah.
While he's in prison, and that's good. And then he's gonna go to medical school.
0% recidivism rate with these villains. They never go back to a life of crime.
I think he's going to be a pediatric dentist.
Wow.
Because he can say, look, you got to brush, you got to floss, or you're going to end up with a robot jaw.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? And the kids will be like, well, kinda.
Kind of.
And actually, he'll be secretly recruiting the next generation of villains.
So instead of kids crying, kids are excited to go to see Breakjaw.
I would.
We're going to go see Dr. Breakjaw. Yay!
Open wide, and then he unhinges his jaw. It's a cute trick he does for the kids.
What kind of prison is he going to go to?
I think one that has big walls that perhaps, I don't know, a spider-based villain spy could break somebody out of. So that's why you have a spider-based villain spy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Turbo car chase.
I don't know if it's actually a prison or if it's just that they have a fence and the prison's invisible. Is it an invisible prison?
I think it's the prison's in your mind's eye. The prison's inside of you always.
What?
The real prison is humanity.
The real prison is already
They're making
in
some
you.
really big statements about life here with this.
This is...
And we're trying to keep the part count down. One of those two things.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the statements about life.
Yeah, I think so.
But this is fun because we've already seen that they have a jet for sure. Mm-hmm. And they have a prop... what did I call it? A prop pack.
Yeah.
They have things that can fly.
Yeah.
But when they're trying to do a prison breakout with a helicopter, what's the vehicle you need for that job?
Yeah, a thing that shoots missiles.
Yeah, spy car for sure.
Spy car. You
Yeah.
gotta have it.
And we talked about this spy car in our car episode.
That's right. I was like, why am I remembering thinking about how ridiculously dangerous it would be to have missiles directly above your head?
Where else are you going to put them?
I guess he probably has a booming sound system. He won't even hear those missiles go off and shear his eardrums.
Exactly. There's bows in there for sure.
Yeah. Just put your hat on. You won't feel a thing.
But Agent Chase is going to give chase again.
And after he shoots this laptop he's got on the ground. That's the image I'm looking at.
It does look that way.
What is happening? He's upset with, he's like, stupid internet, it's getting it all wrong. They've got my Wikipedia page, it's been incorrectly somebody's updated this badly. Forget this. I'm taking out the internet. Blam, 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 blam. And then the evil guy's like, whoa, guy. The internet isn't just in that laptop. The internet is everywhere. What? And then he just goes crazy after that.
I think that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So really, Spyclops is not here to break anyone out of jail.
No.
He's here for tech support / emotional reasoning.
Well, he's the kind of person that calls and tries to say, hey, this is tech support calling. I just wanted to see if you had any problem with your computer. So if you could give me remote access to your computer. He's actually just genuinely trying to help people.
It's nice. Spyclops is a good dude.
A lot of people think he's just, it's like bad marketing or he's, going to infect you with viruses. But really, he's just helping.
Just helping.
Especially elderly.
He believes in technology because technology helped him.
Yeah, exactly.
Become the monster man that he is today.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Way to go, Spyclops.
Yeah.
And then it all wraps up, the first season, as it were, with the Mobile Command Center, which I don't even know if we can make fun of this thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it kind of is. I like it and I don't like it, but I like it. I don't know. There's parts that I don't know. It's a lot of exposed under brick, which it would have to be.
I think when it's all opened up.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that you got like a, a robotic hook arm in there. You're doing some R&D. It looks like there's some cool stuff happening in here.
And a prison to hold the bad guy.
That's essential. You got a medical kit.
You need that.
To for all the salves and bandages that you need after you've blasted your hair off with a rocket-propelled car. And they have more internet. I see they got another laptop just lying around in there.
It is weird that the laptop's just hanging out like where it will be in the blast radius of the jet taking off.
The image on this one is she's holding a gun and he's holding the internet. He's holding a laptop up. I hope she's going to try and shoot it from behind because this is going to end badly. There's something, this is like...
Don't worry. Spyclops is there for tech support. So it's all
Oh, good. He's getting, whoa. That's not how we do the... Guys, would you stop trying to murder the internet? You can't do it.
But I do like that the agents are prepared for any situation. They've got an ATV, a larger ATV, a dinghy, a jet ski, and a jet. I mean, what more do you need? Oh, and a giant truck.
And they're just this is a weekend holiday getaway they're packing for.
Yeah.
It's not. Can you imagine what these guys would be like if they really had to pack for something? This is absurd.
I think spies are used to packing light normally, right?
I guess so. Well, they pack. They're like one pair of underwear. Check.
But-
Assault vehicle. Check.
But here's the great thing about being a spy is that one pair of underwear is also a radio.
That's true. And also an assault vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your assault vehicle is also a salt and pepper shaker. So there's
everything
really,
is connected.
Very important stuff.
Yeah.
That's a big truck. And I think, again, they're not doing the spy thing very well because they branded everything.
It's not discreet. No, especially with rocket launchers out of the front of the truck.
I think they could hide those, but you can't hide the giant A for agents.
It's kind of a cool truck. It looks Transformer-y.
Yeah, for sure. It all close up and
Yeah.
be it just a truck, which again has a giant A on it. It's a nice truck.
And I like the way the little jet thing folds in. Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. It's a lot going on.
As it should, because it's not just a mobile, truck. It's a mobile command center.
It's a command center.
Where they can command things. That was all the sets they released in 2008. No, that's a lie.
No, because that was the wave one.
That was wave one of 2008.
A wave two was tiny, so there's only a couple sets to talk about for that one, with a few extra missions.
Although they were pretty cool missions, because we have Deep Sea Quest 8636, and I always like when they go under the sea. Because, and I don't know if you're aware of this, Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
I don't know if it's going to... would this set have been disappointing to play with? Because you unless you're on a table situation where you've got the boat up top and this odd submarine thing down below with the grabby claw. And that thing is so excessive to grab a open treasure chest. Also, you're going to dump those jewels everywhere, guy. Like, the chest is open. Send the person in the small submersible, not the giant.
Also, why is there an open treasure chest?
Makes no sense. Maybe the villains were sorting?
Maybe. Also, what doesn't make sense is they're shooting bullets into the water.
Yeah, bad idea.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
Physics, people, physics.
Yeah.
You're just giving them ballistic evidence. This is how they will test.
Is it like a
weapons
harpoon?
later.
It looks like a thing that blew by the boat itself and hit the
You're
water.
Right, it is a harpoony thing.
They're harpooning they're trying to get the ship, or they're trying to get the octopus. I don't know. Or
Maybe.
whatever that squid, octopus. I don't know what that is.
I do like that we have a giant sub for one of the agents, probably Agent Chase. Because this seems like the kind of thing he'd do. And then the other agent, they're like, here's a motor.
You're like, bud.
An undersea motor for you. And you can just ride behind it.
Watch out for harpoons. And also, the engine is on the front, so just make sure you don't accidentally get in front of this thing. Yeah, it's a weird looking bit. I don't know how the playability wise though. I don't know how this thing would be.
I'd say it'd be fun in the bathtub, except for the submarine would continually rise to the top because it's Lego, and B, the stickers are not going to do well in the bathtub.
No. So when I see a big boat, I think it looks cool in a display way, but like the boat and the sub, these two things can't play together very easily. I don't know.
I hadn't thought of that. I think kids have more imagination than us.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah, and they would find a way.
We want something literal and awesome.
Which brings us to the last set of 2008.
Yeah.
Volcano Base.
And that's pretty awesome.
I like me a good Volcano Base.
Yeah.
I feel like this one checks all of the boxes for me.
What do we have here? We have impending danger. Check.
Yep. We've got giant doors. You got to have giant doors to your base.
Check.
And a giant laser is always required.
Check.
And then, bits and bobs and technical things.
Copious amounts of dangerous nature. You need to have like flowing lava for no reason.
I'm very impressed at these plants. These are very hardy plants on the side of the volcano.
They thrive. They're like exo plants. They just are like, you know what? The hotter it gets, the better it is for us.
Yeah, because the lava's flowing right by it. Although they did a very good job on the lava effect, I think, as well. It looks like it's flowing.
It does look like it's flowing.
It's got a sense of motion for sure.
Yeah.
And Dr. Inferno is there, to shoot his laser.
And there's no way that's an excessive piece of machinery in anticipation of someone coming in with a plane to save somebody from being dropped into. Like, why not just chuck them in the lava and just be done with it? But no, you got to have the cat and mouse. That's what they're all about, these villains. These villains. And does he have a giant diagram on his thing about what's about to go down? What is that?
It's behind him, which I find weird. It's not like a video screen. I think it's like a play-by-play screen you'd see at like a sporting event. It's so everyone else can see his victory. Because if there's one thing we know about Dr. Inferno, narcissist.
So he's Twitch streaming this right now, and the people in the crowd are like, warning, unidentified flying agent. They're like, whoa, it's going to go down. And then they see armed. I don't know, what does it say on there? Armed, activate laser in 12 seconds. Well, yeah, 12 seconds, things are going to get crazy. So, and he's like, got 12 seconds. How many more subscribers can we get here?
Okay, first off, really inefficient laser design. If it takes that long to warm up to shoot down one little helicopter
and in
thing.
12 seconds, he's going to save the other guy.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a bit of a scam video that he's twitching out here. It's not even, he's just like, we're going to do big reveal. I'm going to take out one of the agents. Which one will it be? And it's like, he didn't take out any agents. He lied.
I do like that it's a traditional spy movie death trap.
It is.
Where it's like, we're going to put you in this thing. I mean, I could throw you into the volcano itself, but we're going to put you in this and give you a chance to escape.
And what's the netting about? They've just got netting lying on the floor.
Something will shoot the netting.
Oh.
It has to. It has to. You can't give us netting and not have that.
No, if you give us netting in the first act, then we expect somebody to be netted.
It was Ibsen that said that.
I think so. If you give us a net gun...
The helicopter throws the net.
Yeah. So this brings a big conclusion to wave 2 of agents. But agents, like agents do, they transform. They blossom into something else, and they go from being just agents, to like regular bad internet celebrities to agents 2.0.
Yeah.
Like even a bigger,
it's a whole new
better
paradigm in agenting.
We can't even. What's going to happen next? It's crazy. Next level agents.
And yet, when they go next level,
because
we talked about these vehicles before. The very first set we're going to talk about, 8967 Gold Tooth Getaway. What is this, really?
Well, he's got a Golden Dinosaur Award that he got from streaming.
He stole it earlier, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got a gold gun.
Maybe that's what he made out of all the gold he stole. Maybe he did get away in that first one. Maybe the agents have been lying about their success rate and inflating their stats to keep their funding.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I'd never thought of it that way before.
Now, these guys, this is an interesting one because the villain and the good guy have the same hair, or they see the same hairstylist, which makes me wonder what's going on exactly.
It's a good question.
One of them he's got his, maybe this is in vogue, and everybody, whether villains or heroes, are all susceptible to the same social trends. They went, you know what, that haircut is in right now. The, box cut.
This is like the Rachel for agents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just...
I'm happy with anything that distracts from the vehicles they're driving, which are terrible.
Oh, they're
terrible.
You know, at 68 pieces, we couldn't have expected much. In fact, you could have just given us the minifigures and called it Gold Tooth's Getaway. I think it would have looked just as good.
Just they're on foot. That'd be fantastic.
They're on foot.
Gold Tooth is sweating there, but I just assume that's from gold plating your hair.
That's got to be hot.
Yeah.
No. He's like, this was a poor idea.
Also, never a good idea is trying to do something on a river, some sort of river heist. What they're stealing on the river, I don't know. Are they heisting the entire river?
And here's my other issue, Jeff. This is an important recurring theme. Strap your money down. They've just got loose $100 bills.
That's right.
You didn't put it in paper wrapping.
You know there's going to be a giant
put it in a
fan.
bag.
You've got a fan boat. There's going to be wind.
Exactly. You're driving in the swamp with your big swamp boat or whatever this is.
At least in this way, we have appropriate vehicles for chasing the vehicle that the bad guys are in.
That's true.
No tires on the water.
No.
This is a jet ski going after a fan boat.
Yeah. That looks like it has a photocopier on it. What is that thing?
The safe?
Oh, is that what it is?
But the money's flying out of?
Oh, well.
Then they threw some sort of timed bomb, but it has like 38 seconds on it.
That makes sense.
The jet ski's going to be long gone past that before that goes off.
another gentleman here with a gold gun. They like their gold weaponry. It doesn't seem practical. Gold is a soft metal. Maybe it's just plating.
Must be plating.
Must be plating. Still not cheap. A little flashy.
Nothing says I'm not the good guy like a gold gun.
Yeah, I see a gold gun. I'm not thinking that's a cop.
There's no Western where like the lone stranger comes into town and pulls out a gold gun and everybody's like, that's a cool guy.
Yeah, that's a cool guy. Look at his cool gun. He's going to save the day.
I'm putting all of my eggs in his basket, they say. Hey, remember how we talked about having appropriate vehicles for chasing down the thing that you've got? Now we have four-wheeled pursuit, where, once again, the bad guys are in the air and the good guys are on the ground.
Yeah, I guess he plans on shooting him down with more of his lasers and rocket-propelled things. This thing looks like it has some rocket-propelled capacity, but it's missing rockets.
I think they've already been shot.
They've already been shot. They're not there. And he's got him on the side, but he'd have to do a jump or some kind of thing. But, fortunately, he can blow through gates. He can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
He can evade the toxic bomb that the helicopter is going to drop. He's good. He's going to be fine.
He doesn't have time for the word stop.
No. He's like, and this Jeep can go wherever it wants. It's going to go up in the air. It's going to get this guy.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't see that.
No.
To be honest.
You're dealing with somebody that either has a PhD in criminology, in criminal thinking, or is a physician.
Yeah.
Either way, I got to say, Agent Chase, you're just going to be chasing your own tail. You're not going to catch this guy.
No, you don't make it through 8 years of evil medical school.
No.
And not know how to evade a ground vehicle from the sky.
That's a first-year course.
Yeah.
That's just
It's
evasion.
go head to the lake. Boom. Right?
Exactly. Fly over water. Oh, how's your Jeep doing now? Agent not chasing anything.
Agent not chasing anything. And then we have, we talked about this before we started recording, because I think this is fantastic. It's 8970 Robo Attack. Okay, guys. So here's the scenario here. We have the main baddie, Mr. Dr. Inferno himself. Sorry, Dr. Inferno.
Not Mr.
Dr. Inferno.
Another physician / maybe he's got a PhD in medieval history.
Maybe. But he brought a giant robot. And he's attacking some, I'm assuming, tourists, judging by their shirts and the fact they're taking photos. And the call comes into the agents, and they're like, oh, man, we've got a 20-foot robot. What should we grab? And Agent Chase goes, I know. I'm going to grab my ATV. Oh, the big one? Nah.
No, the kid-size one.
The kid-size one. I'm going to grab my Power Wheels. I'm going to go take it
I'm
off.
going 4 miles an hour.
And he's using like a grappling hook coming out of the back of it to get it. All that robot's going to do is drag a tiny little ATV away with him when he runs.
I reckon. Also, Dr. Inferno is clutched. This isn't like King Kong grabbing, someone and dragging them up to the top of a building. He's clutching a woman, not wearing any body armor, in giant steel claws. There is no way those claws are sensitive enough to not have just crushed that poor lady.
I don't know. I think his PhD is actually in robotics.
Oh.
So
he spent some time at DARPA.
Yeah.
And then he got involved
he
in
was
that
at
stuff.
EMIT. That's the evil
MIT.
Massachusetts
That makes
Institute of Technology.
sense.
Which, for security reasons, is actually in Rhode Island.
Okay.
But calling it EMIT really threw the agents off the scene.
And they were like, emit? Emit? What is it emitting? I don't understand what this...
It's emitting evil.
And then, so he knows how to not crush helpless people.
Now, on the upside, Agent Chase taking the terrible little Power Wheels ATV means Agent Trace gets to save the day. So it's nice that the lady...
That's true. I think that kid might get crushed if he ends up pulling this mech over.
He's not thought this through.
No. Civilians are going to die.
When you look at this design, I got to give kudos to the Lego designer on this one. Having the two gauges down at the bottom.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
It's so good.
Like crotch gauges. That's what we need. That's what we need. That is...
It's like, I was going to put a couple of 1x1 round tiles there, but that would have been too on the nose.
They're just inviting somebody to mod this thing inappropriately. And why would you why does he have joysticks on his shoulders when all the control happens under the bubble dome?
That's a good point.
Those,
well, maybe that's radio antenna. Maybe he's...
Yeah, but wouldn't you just... I guess.
Maybe he's picking up some Sirius FM. He likes to listen to Howard Stern. Well, he's...
And his GPS. He's got his NavSat that
he's using. It is 2009, so it does... check timeline-wise, doesn't it?
I think the one thing I will give him, though, is that he is not just a brilliant criminal. He's also a bit of a foodie because he decided he's going to set his blast cannon on grill because he knows how he likes his meat. He doesn't
Yeah.
want it toasted. He doesn't want it flambéed.
Yeah.
Grilled.
It's very important. You should never flambe meat.
No, you should only grill superheroes when they're in mini vehicles. Otherwise, if you try to flambe them, you're going to end up with a big mess.
Yeah, nobody wants that. The cleaning.
No.
That's a beautiful mech, though. I
pretty
really
cool.
like this one. Congratulations. And then the final set of 2009, Aerial Defense Unit. And it's...
Kind of a cool, those chopper blades have a cool thing going on, being the way they interlock
I don't get
like
the
that.
physics of them, though.
Well, they would rotate in an interconnected way. So when one rotates, the other rotates. Like it,
Yeah.
the blade comes up in the.
No, I get
But it
how
makes
they
no,
interact.
turbulence-wise, it makes no sense. No, in the real world, it makes no sense, Jeff. But as a mechanical idea, it's kind of cool. But yeah, it makes no sense.
It is a cool helicopter. It's different than everything. It's not the same helicopter again, which is nice.
But it's like they were tasked with, somebody said, okay, you're going to have two blades, and each of the blades, or you're going to have two rotors, the blades are going to be like, a good 15 feet long. And yeah, I know your chopper is not going to actually support this, but you're going to have to make it work. And the designer was like, all right. And came up with that. That's a weird design.
And once again, Agent Chase is lowering himself towards the base all alone. I don't understand why this guy's such a cowboy. you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't need backup. I can go it alone. Just drop me in there.
We wouldn't want to use these missiles on the helicopter to take out those robots before you go in, right?
It's about violence. He's not about violence, except the handgun he's going to use to take out all the robots.
He wants to make it more personal. I get that.
Wow. Magma drone.
So that thus ended Agents. 2009. They took a well-deserved vacation. They said, we don't need you anymore. The world's a different place. We've got superheroes now.
What was happening in 2009? I don't even know.
In the world?
Yeah.
That was way too long ago. Why would you ask me that?
I'm sorry.
My final child was born?
Okay. I think that's what they were basing it on.
Yeah, that's enough of that. And then they never did Agents again. Or did they?
Bum, 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 bum.
But of course you know that because we mentioned Ultra Agents at the beginning.
Spoiled it.
That's right. And Ultra Agents came out in 2014, and they continued all the way through to 2015.
Yeah, they went on a while here. Was it 2015? Yeah, the end of 2015.
Yep. And Ultra Agents, what were some of the big differences between Agents and Ultra Agents?
I don't know, Jeff. Is there differences? I don't know. I mean, I think they kind of place them more in normal locations. They're not so tropical. We're not in the swamps. We're not in the lava land.
The story, instead of having comic books on the boxes, they played out on an app in Ultra Agents.
Right.
So got the kids excited about that.
I think didn't they do some stuff where they try to tie this into other themes as well? So there's some story connections between some of the other stuff.
Yes, there's a link that you can make between Monster Fighters in that they activated a beam that attracted a swarm of bugs that led to the events of Galaxy Squad. And in Galaxy Squad, there was a character named Solomon Blaze who returned to Earth, thus creating the events of Ultra Agents.
I blacked out that whole thing you just said. So there's some story.
You can connect Monster Fighter, Galaxy Squad, and this theme.
Okay.
Through actions and characters.
If you really needed to do that.
Which I think is cool. Whenever they tie the different
cool.
Lego themes together, as a kid who would have had
that's true.
Lots
if you're
of different
playing
themes.
This for story, then yes, you're totally into it.
Yeah, it's nice to have a reason to have a Galaxy Squad ship beside a Monster Fighter hearse beside a agent thing.
Now, what did they change in terms of agent names? We went through all the original stuff.
Let's take a look at some of our new heroes and villains. The villains in this one are sort of based around different disasters. They're like, hey, you know what the kids need to learn about? Because we don't want to scare kids about modern warfare and have them think about that. That would be terrible. Mm-hmm. Let's instead have them think about, hurricanes and things.
Oh, good.
So we'll go through all of the minifigures really quickly here. Mm-hmm. And once again, the villains, I feel like they didn't have a choice. Like Adam Acid, who looks like he's part acid.
Ouch.
That's gonna be hard to hold down a full-time job, have a normal relationship. I get that. We have Agent Curtis Bolt. We have Agent Kayla Phoenix, who has pink hair and a pink shirt. Agent Jack Fury. I mean, come on. Agent Max Burns, who, fun fact, really good at put-down jokes.
Max Burns. I thought he just had really huge sideburns. He has like a whole Lemmy look going on.
No, it's all about the put down.
Wow, he was the Roastmaster General
He was.
in Lego.
We have Inferno is one of the bad guys. Yeah, guess what his stick is? Go ahead, guess.
No, I can't.
He reads Dante to you.
Wow. As we enter the fourth ring of Hades.
I mean, that would really, just in a droll voice, doesn't do any modulation to his voice whatsoever.
He reads it in the original.
He reads it in the
And
original.
then everyone is like, please stop.
Here's all my money, go away.
Please stop.
And then he sets fire. We have Professor Christina Hydron.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. I think it's a funny thing. Her and Agent Max Burns had a meet cute where they collided at light speed in a chamber in Switzerland. That's a true story.
That's where it happens.
We have Cyclone, but get this, it's spelled P-S-Y.
Oh.
Right? So it's like wind, but also his mental faculties are called into question.
Right.
We have Retox. This is one of my favorite minifigs of all time. Retox is it's like an old-timey villain with a bowler hat, but he's obviously made out of toxic sludge in some way. I like this one, so he's got the striped villainy shirt. It's awesome.
Oh, Retox.
I might have to get a Retox in my collection. And Agent Solomon Blaze, the Link.
Solomon Blaze.
And you can see he's a veteran of these affairs. We have Terabyte, who is, I'm thinking, a hacker villain.
That makes sense.
But not in the steampunk kind of way, more in the, like, I don't know, what would you call this? Tron Light?
Tron Light. That was definitely the instruction. So we're thinking for this one, Tron Light. And they're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's got a sticky note. It just says Tron Light. I don't understand this.
Speaking of what does it mean, how about this name for a villain? This lovely lady is named Toxikita.
Toxikita. Yeah. That sounds like Nikita. Toxikita.
I don't
know.
We have Tremor, who's got big fists and is a Cylon from the original Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, I'm glad they brought them back.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Got that helmet right there. If you're looking to do some Battlestar mocks, you need a lot of Tremors. We have Spyclops makes a return, but this is a different Spyclops because this one is one word instead of two words, and has
they often get confused.
Has extra spider arms instead of spider legs, and has a lot going on.
This is why Terabyte was hired, is to help discern between the two on the internet. So could you set me up a page, but it has to be different than the other one. I've got a space.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
It's like in Canadian football, we used to have the Rough Riders and the Rough Riders.
Did we really?
Yes.
There was no idea.
There was 9 teams. Actually, there's a point where there was 8 teams in the CFL.
Yeah.
And 2 of them had the same name, but
Why?
one of them had a space.
Why would they do that?
Because one team had the name for 100 and some odd years,
Yeah.
and then the other team took the name Rough Riders when the one team briefly changed their name for a little bit.
They're like...
So it's a whole... And they were in 2 separate leagues, and they only ever would play in the championship, and then over time, the leagues became one league, and it's a whole...
But why would you, like... It's like when Mos Def changed his name, and then people were joking, like, I guess I can take that name now, because that's an awesome name.
Right.
And then if you had, like let's say Jay-Z had taken and been like, I'm Mos Def now, I guess. It's available. That domain is free. And then Mos Def was like, no, wait, I want it back. And then he's like, I'm going to be Mos Def, but no space.
It's kind of like
Why would you do that?
It's kind of like that, but if it happened in an age where those two people never talk to each other,
Right.
except for potentially once a year, which I think only happened twice.
But still, that's idiotic.
And then eventually, no, it was absolutely insane.
the Rough Riders play the Rough Riders.
Yeah, and
How did commentators deal with that?
it there's jokes about it on The Simpsons. It was such a thing.
It made it to that.
Yeah, it's
This how little I know about my own country.
but luckily after 115 years, the one Rough Riders folded. And then came back as the Renegades, and then folded, and then now are... Get ready for this name.
It's Rough,
No.
R-U-F-F?
No, it's Red Blacks, all one word, all capital.
Whoa, who's coming up with these names?
See, because it was traditionally the colors of the Rough Riders, and they couldn't have the Rough Riders because the Firestone family owns the name because they were the last owner.
Racist.
Red Blacks?
Yeah.
You get used to it, shockingly. It took a while. At first, it was like, this is the weirdest
You
thing.
get used to it. That is daft.
You do. No, you want to know what's
Red-
daft?
what?
Guess what it is in French, the name Red Blacks.
Rouge Noir?
You would think. No, because that would be Red Blacks. No, it's Rouge et Noir It's 3 words.
Red and black.
Yep, the red and blacks.
Rouge and noir.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Makes no sense. I can't. Jeff, that's absurd. I can't take
What
this.
I'm saying
this is why
is-
no one takes the CFL seriously. They don't take
First off-
themselves seriously.
First off, people take the league seriously.
No, they don't take themselves seriously. I will respect you when you take yourself seriously, CFL. Red Blacks. Come on.
It's a good name. And their logo is it's a saw blade with an R in it. It looks really good.
Why?
Because there used to be logging. That's why they were the Rough Riders. They would ride the logs down the Ottawa River. That's how they got the name Rough Riders.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So there's a reason. There's a historical reason.
Wow. And they'd sing the song.
Yeah, whereas I think the Saskatchewan Rough Riders took their name from Teddy Roosevelt's company, troops, whatever it was, in the Spanish-American War.
I you know what? I'm going to tell you that this was actually an entertaining diversion. I knew nothing about this, and I find, see, this is why the absurdity of some of this Lego stuff doesn't faze you, because you've been primed by the CFL.
I live in a world with 2 Rough Riders and Red Blacks.
Yeah. Dude, they have lasers and blast cannons and extra cool vehicles they ride out onto the AstroTurf or whatever they play on. What do they play on? Concrete? I don't know what's this sport you watch?
It's field turf, it's now called.
Field turf.
It's a good place for recycled tires and running shoes.
Right.
They put the rubber inside the
Okay.
grass. It's awesome. Anyway,
All right, back to
what
Lego.
I'm saying is I feel for the
Oh, it
people
came
having
right-
to come up with all these names.
Came full circle.
Yes.
Talking about recycled plastic and perfect. We're back to plastic.
Yeah, let's get back to plastic. So we have Agent Trey Swift. So it's not enough. This is better than the past Agent Swift because this
Right.
one is very swift.
He's very swift.
Yeah, in French, although spelled Anglophonic. I think they should have done it
It-
like
it-
Trey Cool in
Yeah.
Green Day. You know,
Yeah. I guess this one's more like South Park writer.
right?
Maybe that's his side gig.
How about a villain named Invisible? Invizable, or for our American listeners, Invizable.
They're like, the only thing invisible is they're not invisible as your name. That's very pretty sticking out.
So I think he might be invisible, but then he decides to wear like just a really hot suit with a giant medallion.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, which is that?
I guess it's irony.
I would prefer if the medallion was a stolen hood ornament. You know, if you're gonna be a criminal, like advertise.
I think invisible is all about advertising. There's nothing invisible about invisible. Invisible, it's like a rap name. It's just so ridiculous.
It is. It's like hearing tonight, Ludacris with opening act Invisible.
Yeah.
You know there's a rapper out there named that, but never got the recognition.
No. You know what is bananas, Jeff? I'm thinking this afterward when we were talking about the Tron idea set. Thinking that seemed very familiar. That
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow, Agent Steve Zeal's bike.
Oh,
is
for sure.
Totally the Tron bike.
Yes, they went with a very Tron aesthetic overall for a lot of these sets.
Yeah, but the inspiration for those future Tron set, I could definitely see coming out of this a little bit. Although I haven't looked at them side by side, but it definitely gives you that same feel. No blasty light coming out of the back.
Blasty. Okay, let's run through the rest of these quick because I feel
right.
like there's some good names in here.
Okay.
Agent Curtis Bolt is not one of those good names.
No.
There is Drillex, who once he retired from a life of underground-based crime, became a very famous EDM
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, he's
musician. EDM musician. How do you even say that?
He's post drum and bass.
Electronic dance music. Is that what EDM is?
Yeah.
Do we even know that, or are we just guessing?
We don't know
okay,
that.
let's assume we're right.
He collaborates with Aphex Twin a lot.
We have Agent Kayla Phoenix.
Okay.
We have Antimatter, who really cool looking villain that has a staff and I think does stuff with antimatter. We have Agent Jack Fury and Max Burns again, but in power armor. We have, okay, come on now, Professor Brainstein.
That's a bit much.
That's a little on the nose, isn't it? Which is ironic because he doesn't have one.
Professor Brainstein.
Brainstein. We've got some power armor for a bunch of different people. Professor Brainstein becomes a villain in a very spidery looking way with an exposed brain above him. That's awesome. We have Char-X, who's looks like the illegitimate son of Lockjaw. Was it Lockjaw? Breakjaw. And one of the crocodiles, maybe. Or perhaps Thanos. And then we have Electrolyzer.
Electrolyzer.
Yeah, Electrolyzer.
Sounds like somebody who works at. Do they have a kiosk at the mall?
I think so.
There was a Fear one. Was it Fear-X?
Fear-X?
What was that one? Inferno.
Did I say Inferno for Inferno? Did I?
I don't even remember.
Did I just glaze over the ridiculousness? I did. It is Inferno. Oh my gosh.
Inferno's kind of awesome.
All of the villains are awesome, except for Brainstein.
Yeah.
Like, you should have known that was a fake name.
You would think. You would think you're not going to get any credit for that. So what's, instead of going through these necessarily one by one, because these don't seem to have quite the same amount of plot going on.
No, and these ones, each villain they have their own disaster-based idea.
We got a couple of vehicles.
Yeah. Why don't I tell you, I'll pick one, you pick one, and we'll see how long we can keep this going before we lose our minds.
Okay.
I'm picking Tremor Track Infiltration. Boy, I said that really well. 70161. And I'm picking it because, Lego doesn't do modern weapons. So they took, the base is definitely a modern tank.
Yeah.
And then they're like, let's put some giant fists on it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. It definitely is not a tank, and yet it is a tank.
It's weird. It is the weirdest thing. And it fits the character, too. Like, it fits that, Tremor's got the giant oversized fists. It's his fists on a tank. Why not?
And so I think the idea is he uses these fists to start, like, an earthquake by pounding the ground. But I don't know that this can...
Or just punching that giant data-protected thing, whatever. He's infiltrating something. So maybe he's just going to infiltrate with his giant fists?
I mean, generally speaking, if you punch something hard enough, you can solve most problems. I've learned that from superheroes.
Yeah. That's how it works, right?
But that's a cool looking tank, and it's got giant fists, and so it's got the whimsy for sure.
Now, as an aside, before I actually say something good about a good set, Jeff, the first set in this one, the Riverside Raid, our hideous friend there, Adam Acid, looks like he's actually just taking out 2 trash bins. That's what this set looks like.
Yeah, it's the cops hassling him because of what he looks like. Right?
Yeah.
And because he always has toxic waste in his garbage when really it should go in the green waste.
Exactly. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
All that 88 pieces, I can't get too upset about it. I don't know, Jeff. I don't like a lot of these in a way. I like them and I don't like them. Like they got more ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff like the Ultra Agents Mission HQ revamp.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing. I like that mech.
Yeah, whenever you throw a mech in a set, we're going to be happy.
Put a mech in it.
Yeah, put a mech in it. It's basically, that's the Lego equivalent of put a bird on it.
It's a meaner kind of, it seems less funky. It just opens up the side. But the truck itself is pretty vicious looking. That's like some Mad Max looking thing.
Yes. But if Mad Max had more time to polish things.
Exactly. A lot more polished chrome, less rust. I mean, that mech's not the best mech. It's a cute little mech.
Yeah.
I guess it looks like it'd be a fairly simple build.
A good villain. It's a good villain vehicle.
Yeah.
But you've already packed in a bunch of good guy vehicles.
And, it does seem like they don't have a surplus of laptops kicking around. So I think they got rid of the internet at this point.
Well, otherwise Terrorbyte would get them.
That's true. There's a lot of weird extraneous weapons, guns out the side or missile blaster things, neutralizers. Their whole little prison thing has stepped up a notch. Although
Yes.
I kind of like the old one in a way.
Me too. I think if you're going to throw somebody in a mobile prison, it should just be bars. But,
And they look like, before it was like hot, lime green fluorescent looking bars. Like it had a little bit more panache to it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll throw that out there as one that I think it's cool, but it's interesting comparing that one with the old one. I don't know that the new one is necessarily, I think the truck might be a little cooler, but the whole HQ part, I don't know that I like it any better necessarily.
Yeah, I think the other one might have had more play function, but this one looks more polished.
Wasn't there?
There was more vehicles, but a lot of them just sort of came from underneath.
So this one has more story going on with it.
Yeah, I would say.
With the bad guy.
When it opens, it looks like a base more than the other one that looked like a storage facility. And that's fair.
That's true. What else is grabbing your eye?
Well, there's the, we've talked about it in our boats episode, or did we, or was it one of the holiday? I don't even know. We talked about this one before, though. 70173 Ultra Agents Ocean HQ.
Yeah, I don't know if we did talk about it. It's a nice looking boat, though.
It's a really nice looking boat.
Yeah, I do like that as a boat. I think we both like boats in general, but this is a sharp boat. I like that you've got all the studs on the outside. It gives it that extra little industrial feel.
It does. It's definitely a military industrial boat, right? Like you wouldn't see that and go, oh, there's a pleasure craft.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as boats go, that's actually a nice addition to the whole boats thing.
And a ton of minifigures in it as well.
Yeah. So which one is that? Electrolyzer.
Electrolyzer.
Seems you have a hair right there. Let me get it for you. That's what I imagine. He's like, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Could I have a moment of your... No, and they just keep walking down the mall. And he's like, oh,
He's just-
his kiosk is not doing well.
That
but-
would be, if you've ever had to work one of those kiosks, that would be a legitimate villain's origin story for sure. They treated me like I was invisible. I'll show them. I'll show them all the effectiveness of the electrolyzer.
That would be a really funny skit to have somebody actually really do it, to get a kiosk and do total cosplay, like some insane outfit, and then just like quietly and modestly ask people if they want certain services. Like, would you like some electrolysis?
I think it'd be good if you went like full goth. You know, like the
and you're
pale
selling
makeup,
suntan supplies and sunglasses and hats.
It has to be something where you have to touch them, like the hand stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you know, like do you have a moment to try this out?
I have some
It
cream.
really rejuvenates the skin.
You look so much younger. Is that our goth voices? We couldn't do goth.
I think mine is entirely influenced by the IT crowd.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, what's his name? He was good.
He was very good in that.
That's a whole other thing. Well, it relates to this with the IT that we've got going on. So you like that HQ boat? I agree 100%. That is a fantastic looking boat. I like that the way the whole what's the part that you call where the captain is bridge.
Yes.
You know, it's funny. Watching Star Trek last night, and it's the one where the guys get pulled. They woke up. The old humans get woken up, and they are like now in the 24th century, or 23rd, whatever. They're in the 2400s, and they're all confused. And the guy gets in the lift, and he's like, "Take me to where the captain is." And I was having the exact same moment. I was just like, "What do you call that place where the captain is?" I was like, and then I thought of that episode, and I remembered he said, "Oh, bridge," and I was like, "Yes, the bridge." So I thought I'd share my entire thought process with you.
Star Trek, always educating.
Giving me all the words.
By putting the bridge up top there, it gives it sort of a starship look itself.
It does. Yeah, exactly. It looks very futuristic. It does it fits in nice with the way they've gone with all that Tron-ish sort of looking stuff.
Do you have another one you like?
I do like, well, no, you know what? I don't like a lot of them that much. That portal hideout.
Yeah.
I thought I want to like it because it, like, at a glance, it's like there's a lot going on, but it's kind of hideous.
I agree. I think it's a great concept. The portal is nice, but yeah, it's a lot of open space, a lot of barrenness.
It's like discount Lego Dimensions. You give me a better portal than that.
And even the agent's boat is very
I do. It's
thrown
lackluster.
together.
It's
Yeah.
like a bad kayak. It's not going to survive a shark attack.
And these aren't even laser sharks.
I don't know. I feel like Antimatter's just a little let down by it all. He's like, man, I talked to the rest of the criminals. I told them what my budget requirements were. And they were like, we got 475 pieces for you. And I was like, I can't do this in 475 pieces. I'm Antimatter. Do you not understand the power? We got a shark. Okay, I'll take the shark, but I need a portal of some kind. A portal that, how else am I going to harness the antimatter? Fine, we'll give you here's a portal. That's an oil rig. It's not even, it has a grabby claw. What? I don't even understand what you're doing here.
And it had a $70 price point, too.
Yeah.
That would have upset me.
That's not a great looking. So maybe that's one I'm not that impressed with.
For sure.
It stands out at me.
We were going to talk about the invisible gold getaway, which is the sort of very Tron-y bike.
Yes.
I hope this guy secured his payload.
Yeah, I would have. Exactly. There's this spillage. Maybe they take that into account when they do a job. They're like, we're going to have a certain amount of loss. They're like, okay, look, invisible. It's invisible. Okay, invisible. You exceeded the 15% loss that we took into account when we just set up this heist. Fine.
Yeah, definitely villain accounting gets really difficult.
There's a lot of people getting fired. That's what's happening. Maybe that's why we have a whole new set of villains, because those last ones got canned. The rich super arch person that is funding this, the dark money that's getting funneled through the Caymans and put into villainy, is they just got sick of the villains. They were like, no, we had a meeting and you're out. Spyclops, you're in.
Okay. No, not that Spyclops. Other Spyclops.
Yeah, like Spyclops infiltration. Another set where I just go, what?
Yeah, it's
no, please don't. Again, 109 pieces, but still, what?
And you get a shield for your guy, so that's a thing.
I don't know. I feel like in some ways I like the Agents and Agents 2.0 better than this theme, Jeff.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. There's that boat is nice.
The ultracopter is not bad. The rotors are working in a better formation this time. It fits the, if you're on, I think if you bought into the image that this presents with that cool blue and the black, and you're like, I like this aesthetic, then you'll like some of the vehicles they've done. You'll like the boat, you'll like the copter, you might like the the little jet plane. But outside of that, I feel like the villains are getting a bit of short shrift here. I mean, they get like Drillex's diamond job vehicle,
which is nice.
It's okay, yeah.
But I agree, the Spyclops thing is not that great. The Hurricane Heist, which I actually do own this set, and I bought it because it was 70% off, and I never put it together.
Wow. Yeah, it's like it's like a mech, but there's so much real estate on that. I feel like somebody's just going to get their eye taken out with this thing.
To be fair, I think that's the plan.
That's the plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, kid. I think that Tremor track infiltration was cool. That's about it. The rest, I'm all like, I don't know.
The Inferno Interception has a nice spy vehicle, Tron-y car looking thing.
So I don't know if is this theme kind of dead at this point? Is this the thing? Did they have plans to do any more type of stuff like this? This seemed less fun than than original Agents. Like there was a little wordplay on the names and stuff, but the sets didn't have as much whimsy.
For sure, it took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
This time, I think. And I don't know, maybe that's a reflection of them trying to capitalize on the superhero movie success, which I think you could definitely argue the superhero movies take themselves too seriously.
That's true.
Except for when they don't, which tends to work out really well. So perhaps they're just trying to... I think it's hard. Lego wants original IPs to fill up their own shelves, to fill up shelf space.
Yeah.
I mean, if you sell a set for $20 that you have a license on, and you sell a set for $20 you don't have a license on, you make a lot more money.
That's a good point. So I wonder if that is their... And then they had to do it on the quick and on the cheap and just went, let's revitalize an old
I think they put a lot of thought into it. I think they thought this could work. I don't know if successful.
No, because these ones tied in with the app brick. Was there like a lot more story going on with these ones?
Lego they learned the power of story a long time ago, and everything has story. Whether we as adults are conscious of it or not.
Right.
Sometimes it's very overt, like Nexo Nights, where there's a cartoon on TV, or Ninjago, where there's a cartoon on TV.
Yeah.
It's easier to be aware of the story, but there's definitely a through line story with every set they build. Even the modular buildings now have a story component to it.
Right.
So I don't say there's more or less. It's a question of how effectively they're communicating to it out there, and even how effectively they're communicating it, and what audience are they communicating it to.
Yeah.
You know, the Hello Kitty has cartoons now.
Right.
And a line to go with it.
Yeah.
Not Hello Kitty, Unikitty.
Oh, yeah. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You processed it.
That makes no sense now.
It took me 10 minutes for my brain to go, no, you said that wrong. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got it right, brain.
I'm pretty sure it was the little cat. Although Hello Kitty they have some kind of narrative as well, I think, with some of them.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hello Kitty.
Unikitty, yes, that makes sense.
Okay, which one are we talking about now?
We can talk about whatever one you want to talk about, Jeff.
Because I just watched The Toys That Made Us on Hello Kitty, just because it started streaming after another one.
Right.
and I was like, there's a lot happening with Hello Kitty that I'm not aware of.
Right.
Yes, but that's a different issue. They took a long time to learn the power of story, whereas Lego has had story for quite some time.
So what comes after this? I don't know.
Well, they've got the James Bond Aston Martin car,
right,
in large creator expert scale, and they packed it full of play features, ejector seats, and
that'll be very
license
cool.
plates to change. Yeah, I think for the people that collect the large creator expert cars, it's sort of a there's a mixed bag of reactions on it, because people love the play features, but it did lose some of the aesthetic because they concentrated so much on the it's one of those ones where when you see it by itself, you go, wow, they did a really good job replicating that car. And then when you see it beside a picture of the car, you see all the places they lost curves and
in order to accommodate the
play,
just
the restrictions of the Lego itself, and the color restrictions, because it couldn't. It's harder to do silver.
Right.
There's silver accent pieces on it, but the whole car itself is gray. So it's. That was a weird license, because that's 007. So this is a grown-up movie license with very grown-up themes and a history of misogyny. Like, 007 is everything Lego isn't. It glorifies violence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and yet it's now an official license.
So they went from parodying it to becoming it.
Yeah, oddly. Now, that being said, that set is firmly aimed at adults.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with having adult entertainment for adults.
Yeah.
It's just, it continues that sort of murky place Lego has been the last, ever since they took the Star Wars license.
Right.
Of, we don't glorify violence, but here's some violent stuff to play with.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they want to stay in business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big chunk of it for sure.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So I don't know if we'll see spy, unless there's a big resurgence in spy movies. I don't think we'll see another Agents line for a while.
So we haven't seen something that's more like Spy Kids-y. My daughter has gotten into Spy Kids. I don't know why. I think they have a cartoon now.
And the first movie is a really, really well-made movie.
There's some jokes. There's
Yeah.
some ha-has. There's some silliness. She's watched it like, I don't know. Every time
More
I come in the
times
room,
than-
there's Spy Kids on. I'm like, why is this a thing now? Thanks, Netflix.
Yeah, I don't, that is a good question, because that's very cartoony.
But I could see those kinds of absurdities being, very Lego-like, more than the James Bond stuff in many ways. I don't know.
I don't know. I think, and they also make a lot of superhero sets now. And I don't know if superhero sets and the agent sets can exist on the shelves at the same time.
That's a good point too. It's a bit of, one has to be more parody based, and then it almost delegitimizes the other one. It's a very weird balancing act to try to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you've got some favorites out of all of this, you've got some thoughts. I'm sure there's some hardcore fans who know the narrative of all of this and have strong opinions, and I'd like to hear them, because we have not so strong opinions about it. I think we don't like it. Is a mixed bag. This whole thing for me.
It was fun looking at them without knowing the narrative.
Yes.
To see,
we may have done a total disservice, but
absolutely.
But we tried to come at it just as as from the aesthetic of the whole thing.
Yeah, and the ridiculousness that will always be toys based on secret agents taking on over the top villains.
Yeah, with awesome names. Thanks, Laserface Jaw, Brain Professor.
That's Dr. Professor Laserface Brain Jaw.
And that's Jeff's new Twitter handle. So if you want to get at him, say it again.
I can't remember that sequence.
But if you do want to hit Jeff up on Twitter, you can actually do that over at Still Sorting. At Still Sorting? Yes.
At Still
Sorting. And or head over to breakingdads.com and leave a message. And until next time, I've been James.
And I'm still Jeff.